The Miss Marvel actress Iman Vellani is definitely a fan of Marvel Comics, and this has been something that's honestly taken on a life of its own when she does interviews, because she's not afraid to point out how the MCU is screwing things up from the comics. She's talked about various things, and now she calls out Sony and Marvel Studios, and specifically Mysterio and the plot hole that is related to him. So I think you all know the plot hole I'm talking about, or plot hole in quotation marks, although it really kind of is if you really think about it. But hey, let's talk about it for a second. So during Spider-Man Far From Home, Mysterio, of course, is selling the pitch that he is from the multiverse. And he lets them know, hey, guess what? Earth 616. Okay, okay, how does he know this? Especially that the Illuminati in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness confirmed that the MCU is 616. So picking up off of what Iman Vellani said before, where she was like, look, Feige, you're wrong. The MCU is not the 616. We all know what it is. It's 199,999. She goes off and rips everybody a new one for calling the MCU 616 again with Mysterio, because that's a major plot hole. And she says that it doesn't make sense because, well, comic canon. And also, how did Mysterio just guess this? How did he know? How does this happen? Now, obviously, they could explain this at some point. They really could. This isn't the first time we've seen the 616 thing. I think it was, what, Thor the Dark World? Or maybe I'm confusing it. I think it might have been Age of Ultron, where we got the Professor, and he's like, hey, look at this, and 616 is highlighted, and he's theorizing about the multiverse. So again, it's not the first time. Maybe down the road, we're going to learn that it was given the number 616 because the Illuminati checked in on the MCU, and they already knew about the multiverse. They're like, oh, someone mentions it. Hey, that's a designation we haven't used. Give it to them. But for right now, it is a plot hole, right? We can all agree on this. So I really like how she's just calling everybody out, being like, guys, this doesn't make sense. How does Mysterio know this? How did the Illuminati know this? Don't they know about the comics? We know about the comics. So, yeah, in the comics, it's 616. It can't be that in the MCU. And if it is, well, then explain the Mysterio plot hole. So we're just all going to agree with her, right? I know some people are, like, people have been hating her, but they praise others for calling out the MCU. I get it. People are just wanting to hate her for whatever reason, but tell me she doesn't legitimately sound like all of us comic nerds that were complaining about the same thing. So, I appreciate this. Now, Feige, explain this plot hole. Just like you guys said you would explain how Homecoming takes place 7 years after, Avengers, which didn't make sense. You guys said it would be explained, it never has. That's a plot hole. Wait, was it 7 years or was it like 3 or something? Oh my god, this is getting out of hand. I can't even remember anymore. Who cares?